Okay, so we're back with another episode of the Big Kids Fucking Podcast. I'm your co-host, D Money. This is
Julia.
And we're back. I guess.
We've been on a Okay, I'll take it from here. We've been on a hiatus. We're back because we know that you guys have been begging for us to do another podcast. So we're back.
All of my parents have been asking for us to come back onto YouTube.
How many parents do you have?
I got 2. However, some people have 4.
Okay. So we're here to talk about divorce.
Yeah, right. You know what I've always wanted to know though? So let's say you are a single born child from your parents, right? Let's say your parents divorce, right? Let's say they get married. So now you have a stepfather and a stepmother. Or it's two stepmothers? 2 stepfathers? Who knows?
2-step persons?
What's
so funny about that?
You have a stepmother and a stepfather, right? The stepmother's married to your mom and the stepfather's married to your dad. That's why they didn't work out, you know? Now let's say your parents are just really bad at marriage, right? So now you have those 2 original parents, your biological parents, and the step-parents.
Okay.
Let's say the step-parents get married to other people and your parents get married to another set of people. Do you then have 6 parents?
Okay, so
or do the step-parents not count? Like, you just cycle them out?
I'm not speaking from experience.
I've never been divorced.
You know what? Actually, I do know people who...
Like your grandparents?
No, but I'm thinking about something. I won't say specifics, but I know people who they've had their parents, their biological parents. Then let's say the mom moved on to somebody else, but they had kids with that other person and then divorced again.
And then they got remarried?
Yeah, in that case, they are all connected still.
Wait. Okay, so let's say your parents get divorced.
Except, yeah.
Okay, follow along. Okay, so let's say your parents get divorced, right?
Okay, yeah.
Let's say let's just go with your mom, because moms are usually whores, you know?
Oh,
so
yeah.
They're the mistresses and the mistresses, you know?
Michael Scott.
Yeah. I'm the mistress. No, but so let's say that your mom finds another husband, they get married, right? Your stepfather, right? Now hear me out. Let's say the kid...
Are you trying to solve this to me?
Yeah, that's my pitch for divorcing parents. No, but okay, so let's say that your mom and the stepdad, like the whore your mom is, she has another kid, right? Anyway, so let's say, that's your step sibling.
Okay.
Let's do male, because, you know, you want a male child first.
Yeah, you want a man.
Yeah. All right. So let's say your mom, the whore, you know, and your stepdad have a child.
Okay.
Right. Let's say your mom, because she's a whore again.
Yeah. We must stress.
Yeah, can't stress enough that she's a whore.
Yeah.
So let's say she divorces your stepfather, right? So they get divorced. Let's say your mom gets back with your dad, like some Parent Trap type shit, you know?
Are you talking about the original dad?
Yeah, the bio
OG
dad.
The bio dad. The bio.
Yeah, so let's say she gets back with your dad, so her original husband, right? Assuming they got married. Does your dad then become the stepfather to her
Shut up.
son? Like,
no, I think that happen. I think that actually does happen.
Theoretically, like it should be that your dad is that kid's stepdad, right?
I've heard stories that I've heard stories about
couples
divorcing. I've heard stories. That's it. I've heard stories of couples divorcing, but then getting back to, or not even divorce. Yeah, that too. But a lot of times I hear about couples and then getting back together. It's like one of those like, oh, every couple breaks up once and then they get back together and then they're so much stronger because they realize they can't be without each other or whatever.
Right.
I've heard that a lot. The kid would not be the step.
He would though, right?
Wait, are you talking about the kid that was made from another person?
Yeah, so your mom...
Oh, well then, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so then...
For one person, it would be their biological parents.
And then the other one would be the stepfather.
Yes.
Even though...
They're No, they're half-siblings.
They're half-siblings. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, well, it's still a stepbrother. No, it's not a stepbrother.
No, it's not a stepbrother. No, yeah, a stepbrother is somebody that you're just like kind of...
Your parents
no
got
blood
married.
relativity there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so... But then in the case where your mom doesn't get back with your biological dad, he's not that kid's stepfather.
No.
Because he has no familial ties. He's just your dad. That's crazy how...
Yeah, you're right. We're speaking from a place of privilege because... we don't know
we
any of
got
this.
married and
So we're just like talking. I bet everybody with divorced parents are like, shut up.
yeah, right. It's
They're
like, oh yeah, you got parents. Wow.
"Ugh." It's just so introspective to look into our lives, our everyday lives, just so foreign.
I was in my so I take a religious course, right? It's called Religion in America at my school.
Say psych right now.
Say psych right now. No, and I take it, of course, to to fill requirements because I go to a private Christian school. It's a college, not a high school.
Very different.
Yeah, right. It's
go
United
to
Church
private
of
liberal
Christ
arts
or whatever
school.
is there.
United Church of Christ is one of the most liberal churches.
Anyways, that's not the point, right?
Just saying.
So we go to the United. Well, we don't go there, but that's the United Church of Christ is the affiliation for our school.
But
So,
of course, we have like other religious figures on campus.
anyway, so I take a religious course because it's part of like a requirement to graduate, right? And it's called Religions in America, and we discover like the history of different religions in America and their effect. So you know how Chrissy Columbus came on down in
Chrissy
1942?
Columbus?
1942.
Oh my God, American. Oh my God.
But how does that make sense?
Dude, how did-
of America's 2017, 19 years old. How did he come over in
The world is,
1942?
the earth is 2,000 years old or whatever.
Yeah. No, but 1442, is that when Columbus sailed the ocean blue?
Probably.
But yeah, so Chrissy Columb, he came on down. And we were talking about how the Algonquin and the Iroquois, I was going to say Indians, Native Americans, were, so they were here, right? And we were talking about how it was Protestants, how there's like, I think it's like separatist Protestants and then non-separatist Protestants, and how the separatists wanted to literally do that, separate themselves from like any other religion and any other people's affiliated with it, whereas the non-separatists were
The
like
indigenous people?
no, they
Like
like
people in general.
yeah, people in general. So when they migrate, when they pilgrimaged here, well, I'll get to that. So and then non-separatist Puritans or whatever, Protestants, they fucked with other people, but they were just in it up like in their own religion. So like they would they would associate with others, and they wouldn't force them to convert. I was gonna say converge. Yeah. So then when the separatists came on down, did their little pilgrimage, they met the Algonquin and Iroquois Native Americans, right? And apparently they really fucked with them. You know why?
Why?
Because the Algonquin and the Iroquois Native Americans, they were like in like their own little circle, in their own little world. Like, they didn't want to like fuck with anyone else. They didn't want to like deal with any outsiders. They were in like their own little like ecosystem. And like they had this thing where it was constructive healing and deconstructive healing.
Oh.
It was something like that, right?
I'm interested.
So the deconstructive heal or the disruptive healing,
Disruptive?
something like that, something along those lines. What that meant was that there would be crops around them, where so they were called a medicine society, right? So they like healed within this and this. They believe their prayers would be what like healed them, or their like rituals, and they believed that there are specific crops around them that wouldn't be worth it to them to eat because they're very damaging to the soul or something. I
Like what?
I learned this like last night, so like don't quote me on it. I don't know, just like crops around them.
Quote you on it.
So what's it called? So there would be like let's say they fucked with corn, but they didn't fuck with wheat. They
Buckwheat.
yeah. If there was like 4 little corn crops, they would only eat those little corn crops, and despite the fact that there's wheat all around them, they would just completely ignore it because they would say like, oh, wheat has these bad properties. They're not healing, And the Protestants were like, damn, these people are really like, stick to it type people. They're really like not residual,
Devotional.
resilient to like outside forces. They wouldn't like let other people change them. They would do what they want to do, and they would do it how they wanted to do it. And even if it came to like a life or death situation where they had to eat wheat, they wouldn't do it. They would just rather die than like go against what they believe in.
Wow.
And the separatists were like, those people know what's up. They know that when you're the superior person, you don't give in to temptation and all that shit. And I thought that was pretty cool.
That is
It
pretty
didn't
cool.
stop them from murdering. Native Americans, but
shoot.
Yeah.
The Protestants specifically.
No, not them, but like Easterners, right? That's the East.
Wait,
Well,
what are you talking? The Europeans, because
yeah.
Europe is the West.
They're still part of the West.
Yeah.
Okay.
The West is the Americas.
Like the agricultural West.
No, the West is referring to mostly you've heard
I'm not
the term
a history buff.
You've heard the term second world country?
Yeah.
Or is that one?
Third world and first world.
First world country. Third world country. Whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, usually when you're referring to the West, it's white people.
The
it's going to be America.
The white man.
And Europe. May or may not include Mexico, South America. There's like, they're iffy. Well, South America is pretty much seen as not the West. But Mexico is kind of on the border. Literally.
You're talking about how Europeans, the white boys, would count as the West. I was watching this video.
Europe is the West. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I was watching this video where like it's like a little trend, and there's a song that goes with it. It's just like a little piano riff, like do 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 do, and then all of a sudden it says mix, right? And then like it plays a song after it, and the trend is that when it says mix, you shake a little bottle of like, just like a little bottle with liquid in it to like represent mixing, and then before it, you say one part of your racial ethnicity, and then you say another part. So like if you're half Mexican, half white, you'd say you're Mexican and you're white. You do a little mixing motion, and then you show yourself, because this is what a white Mexican person looks like,
Is this TikTok?
Anyway, so one guy, he got like a lot of flack for it. He said he was Italian and he was European. That both sides of his family came from, I was gonna say Italy, and Europe, and like everyone's like, damn, I can't believe Brexit took Italy with it too.
Oh my god. Yeah, this dude's a clown.
So you have a shirt, so like speaking of Brexit, you have a shirt that's spelled BRXTAIN. It's Britain.
No, it's just BRXT. BRXT.
No,
it's
there's
a
like
company.
an IN or something.
No, there's no IN. It's BRXT. It's like a British company. I got that shirt from, I think, PacSun.
Yeah. So you have the shirt that looks like it spells Brexit, but it doesn't.
I know it does. It looks like I support Brexit.
Yeah. And I was watching this video on YouTube. It was a review for a computer I was looking into, right?
Yes.
And the guy, he had a little hat that said Brexit on it too.
Yeah, it's like a little brand.
Yeah, so I thought that was cool. It must
be like
spawning brands out in the wild or whatever it's called.
It's the name of the brand. I feel bad.
Why? Because they
say Brexit.
They called themselves, they named themselves dangerously close to like not a global catastrophe.
Maybe it's like Brixton.
But a
I
European
think it's like Brixton.
Catastrophe. Braxton.
More Brexton.
Anyway, so you excited for tomorrow?
Oh yeah, it's my birthday tomorrow.
So we're recording this on the 17th. It is the 18th tomorrow?
Yeah.
That is your birthday.
It's my birthday tomorrow. I'm going to be 21. 21.
You ready to get liver poisoning or liver disease? What is it called? Liver poisoning, alcohol poisoning?
Alcohol poisoning. Organ failure.
Organ failure, lung cancer, because you also smoke cigarettes.
Why are you saying these things? Why are you saying?
Anyways, on that 3-week hiatus that we were on, right? I've recently gotten into something called Reddit. Even more so,
Okay.
And like I've been reading all these stories because Reddit's basically a forum for a bunch of like.
I think everybody knows.
Yeah, well, it's a forum essentially, and you can follow these different pages that like you just read articles on it basically, or like different blog posts. And one of the ones that I look up is called relationship advice.
Really?
It's not for me, dude. I'm single as hell, So
I thought you were gonna say Choosing beggars.
No, that's another one. But so it's called relationship advice, and I read it because it's really, I don't know, it's satisfying knowing that people can't do something as easy as like keep a relationship together. You know?
Do you read it because a lot of people have really easy problems to fix? Is that why?
No, they have horrible. Like a lot of them face like cheating or abuse or something, and like
Oh.
I don't like that. But it's like
No.
it's like there's like some pretty stupid people on it. Like I was reading this post today, and it was this guy. He was talking about how his girlfriend literally said, "Hey, I want to like open up the relationship because I liked how it felt when guys could flirt with me," and he was like, "Obviously, I felt like saying no, but I said yes." And now I feel bad. And I was like, okay.
It's your own fault.
Right. And then he told her, he's like, I don't like the idea of you like wanting other guys to flirt with you. And she's like, okay, but I'm going out tonight with a friend. And he's like, at that moment, I knew she meant another guy, and he caught them having sex. And he's like, what should I do next? And I was like, dog, leave her.
What should I do now? I know a lot of people like the worst thing happens and they'll be like, but what do I do? And it's like, well, obviously, yeah.
I'm like,
But
yeah.
But like, I get that it's easier said than done. People don't want to do that.
Yeah, because it's like you get into this habit of being with this one person. All of a sudden, you catch them like penis in their like armpit or something.
Yeah.
You know, and now
That's the common.
Yeah, that's the
position.
common way to cheat. And now you don't know what to do. I follow another Reddit. It's called Insane Parents, and it's about
Whoa.
it's about parents playing the victim when they're like assholes. So like this one person had like their mom was racist. Their parents were divorced, but their mom was racist, and she is a white lady. You know, the girl who was writing this was a white lady. She has a black boyfriend.
Oh, where? So did she say where she was from?
She was not from the South. I think it was New York.
But it was in the United States.
Yeah, in the U.S.
Okay.
But yeah, so she's a white girl. Her boyfriend was black, and apparently her mom and her stepfather like straight up hated the guy. And like she told him like, yeah, you'd want to leave me, go for it. Like I don't blame you. Like how could anyone live like that, knowing they're like in-laws, because they're engaged. She's like, how could anyone live knowing their in-laws straight up hate them? And he told her like that like basic shit. It's like, I'm in love with you, not your fucking parents. And he's always like, that's how people are, especially racist, before they get to know someone of another race.
Yeah.
Then it's like all prejudices they have go away, because again, racists are those like one and done kind of people. So they see an example of one person being bad, and then they associate it with their race, and then they meet someone of that race, and because they're nice to them, hopefully it's a good confrontation. Then they like steer away from the ignorance, you know. But yeah, so like the girlfriend was like, she got in like some like newfound confidence with the relationship because he was in it for her, and obviously. But so then he told her, hey, let me meet your mom and this and that and your grandma, because the grandma's a fucking racist too, and so is the grandpa.
I'm assuming.
Yeah. So he goes over to dinner constantly, this and that. You know, they build a good relationship, and like one night she went before him because he was at work late. And she showed up, and the parents were all like, oh my God, is he not coming? Oh no. And they were all sad. So that, like, you know, that made her feel even happier that now they really like the guy.
Oh.
You know? And then apparently the mom goes upstairs, and like the daughter goes up because like it's dinner time. The guy just got there, and she goes up to talk to the mom, and she finds the mom crying, and she's like, what can I do to make you change your mind about him? This and this. And like, so despite how nice she was being, she's still a fucking racist asshole, you know?
Oh my God.
Yeah, so then they start arguing this and this. The girl's like, I can't believe you would do that. You know, like, you just, like, deliberately lie to my face, making me think everything's all right. Then they start fighting. Then the mom tries locking the girl in the room, and, like, they're all yelling and stuff, and the girl, like, breaks out of the room. But the stepdad is with the
boyfriend.
Yeah, and he's giving him, like, a stern talking because he's pissed at the boyfriend, saying, oh, like, everything was good until you showed up, this and this. It's all your fucking fault. And then the girl goes downstairs to see, and she's, like, walks in on the stepdad and the fiance, and she's like, leave him alone, he didn't do anything, this is because you guys are too like ignorant to like actually like be nice people, you know.
Yeah.
And so the stepdad starts like yelling at her, telling her to like shut the fuck up, like she's the problem, you know. And he was about to strike her, but the guy got in between them, and he's like, let's just go, let's get out of here. And like the mom and the grandma start holding the girl back, and they're like, and then like the stepdad starts choking out the guy.
Really?
And then like the grandpa Like he walks in and he sees what's going on and he starts attacking the guy too.
Oh
So
no.
yeah, so the guy and the girl, they eventually make it so that they can get out.
Oh no.
And the guy is all bloodied. She's
Oh.
like got marks all over her because like of the mom trying to hold her back, and she's like, well, go get her, you know. And
He said they're not from the South.
Yeah, well, they're not, but like that's what I imagine, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, so then the guy and the girl, they drive off because they eventually get to their car, you know. They call the police, this and this, because the girl left all of her belongings there, like her purse and all that.
She was just trying to escape.
Yeah, so they call the police so that they can go into the house without being like harassed. And like the other boyfriend pressed charges, obviously. So now they're not close anymore. And it's like what the fuck do you expect?
That's so sad.
You know, like you're gonna be a jackass, like a racist jackass. Like, what do you expect? Like, how do you expect to be treated by your family? You know.
I know.
You know, yeah.
I know. Yeah, that's sad because it was just that one reason, and because of that reason, he got hurt, like physically, and of course, he doesn't have that part of the family. That's really sad.
Yeah, like I get you like the person, but not and like you shouldn't have to care for the family. But I think in that altercation, it'd be too much for me, you know?
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's like a lot to handle for her, you know? Like, I don't want to say she's not worth it, but it's like, you can do different, you know? Because like a good relationship with the parents isn't bad, you know?
Obviously, that's what everybody wants. That's the ideal.
Yeah, it's the ideal where it's like you guys are the kids, you grew up, got married, not to each other, but like incestual. But yeah, so like it's just really fucked up. And I read so many stories like that on Reddit. Like I'll have like 7-8 hour shifts on a long day. The whole time I'll just be going through one subreddit reading these stories. And it's like because people post there so frequently, like I never have like any like section where I don't have something to read, you know? But speaking of incest, right? Backtracking a bit.
I'm sorry, what?
You're working on a project for your class about incense.
Oh yeah, incense, yeah.
And so for those of you that don't know, for some reason incense are like little sticks or little cones you can burn, and like you set them on a specific tray so that your house doesn't burn down, and they release a really good smell.
Yeah. Well, not everybody likes it.
Well, anyways, so anyways. So you're working on a project for your design class to make a brand and like the packaging and stuff?
Yeah. Just like package design, yeah.
Package design,
and the branding of it, yeah.
And we were going through some names, right?
We have some good ones.
And you went with a really stupid name. But
no, I didn't.
Before we get to that, let's talk about the names that we came up with.
Oh yeah, so incense cone. Before we say any of them, another name for an incense cone is a dupe, DHOOP. Yeah, that plays in later.
But so specifically you're working on a branding for incense cones.
Yeah, incense cones. So that's what dupes are.
Right.
Cones.
And so with these dupes, you decided your brand name should be And I Dupe.
And I Dupe?
Yeah.
That was
pretty
one of
funny.
my ideas.
And I told you to go with it because like everyone wants to be serious, but like who wants to be chill and like cool, you know, trendy, some type shit like that.
That's so dated. It would be so cringy in like 2 days.
Yeah, that's true. But it's like, it's now, you know, it's in. That's how you get your foot in the door.
Yeah.
Another one that I thought of was, what was it?
Cone to think about it.
Oh, cone to think about it. You know, pretty good with wordplay.
And I thought of holy smokes.
Yeah, you thought of like smokes. Really like lame literal ones.
I'm sorry.
Like holy smokes, teepee hut.
No, I didn't. What? Teepee hut? I never said that.
Well then,
the one I actually chose to do was Balefire.
Balefire. Yeah, that's lame. Like, what does that mean?
Sorry. It's like it's a fire basically, but it can also be used for it could also be used for like signals.
Like smoke signals?
Yeah.
I forget what I was watching, but I think it was Family Guy. I want to say it was Family Guy.
What a random
the very
transition.
raunchy show, and they were talking about smoke signals. I think it was like one of those lame like Stewie and Brian episodes where it's just them two.
Yeah.
And like I think they got stranded on a mountain or something, and they sent out smoke signals.
Uh-huh.
So that's my experience with smoke signals.
That's what I know about.
Yeah, that's what
signals.
I know about fucking smoke
Well,
signals.
they're not the point, but yeah, that's what I named my product. But yeah, we had some pretty funny names, some fun names.
And I dupe.
I'm sad. No, because I wanted to make the brand like more luxurious. So if it was called "And I Dupe" or "Cone to Think About It," that just wouldn't make sense.
It's very like tacky.
Yeah, it's
It's
cheeky.
like it's one of those like
it's witty.
dad joke type things.
Yeah, which is not what I wanted. My product
So
to
like
be.
again, so I was talking about the religious course that I have and the Algonquin Native Americans, right? So that same professor, he's very lively. He's very out there, you know, like he's very like shotgun with his like responses, you know, like you'll say something, he'll like retort back with something like very witty. And he's like very well traveled, well knowledged, very knowledgeable.
He went to the Cancun, Mexico resort.
No, but you know, so he's got like he travels the world a lot, like especially on his off time from being a teacher, and he brings like he's like got a PhD in a couple of things. So he's pretty smart. He's a pretty smart dude, you know, and he's got like all this experience. And he was telling us how like he was talking about dad jokes to a psychiatrist, or something, not psychiatrist, but someone who, you know,
A psychologist?
yeah, there you go. And the psychologist was explaining to him how like dad jokes are like hated, but they're loved because the association you make with them is dads, you know?
Yeah.
And apparently there's like a higher usage of dad jokes with people who have dads. And that people who tend to not have dads won't acknowledge that they made a dad joke.
Oh.
Just like subconsciously they won't like want to like tie into that because it's not something that they've had themselves. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. It was useless for a religious course, but I thought it was pretty cool, you know.
I'm also taking a religious course, and I'm finding that these religious courses are fun. I'm taking like a geography perspective.
Jesus is fun.
No, it's not just about him, ladies and gentlemen. It's about all of them. And we were learning about like pagans a little bit, and how, and I guess, I don't know, it just really interests me because most of us grew up with Abrahamic religion.
Oh my God, Abraham Lincoln.
Nobody gets that but us, so that was pointless. But, like, you know, Judaism, Catholicism, or Christianity, and Islam. So yeah, it's interesting to learn about other religions, but especially paganism, because that one's the first.
Is that the witchy people?
No, it's like you know the movie Midsummer.
Yeah,
those are pagans.
Okay.
Like basically, paganism was like in the olden times. It was like the country bumpkins. It was like the people who basically the people
the Southern Bells.
It was doesn't mean Wiccan. What you're thinking of Wiccan?
Oh, okay.
No, pagan is more broad. Like those people who celebrate like nature and stuff.
Oh my God, dude! Let me tell you about a dream I had. Right?
Sure. Tell me.
So it has nothing to do with what the fuck you're saying.
Oh,
you said Wiccan, and to me, Wiccan, like, I don't know what the fuck that means, but I see it a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I didn't care enough to Google it, but to me, I always associate with like witchy type shit. You know?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
If you're Wiccan, I think you're a witch, and what's the guy version of it? You're
not a werewolf, warlock.
Warlock. There we go.
Yeah.
Which I never understood. Warlock sounds like a.
It's a guitar name.
Really?
Yeah.
To me, when I hear warlock, I think of like a troll.
I don't know if you watched that critically acclaimed Disney Channel show, Disney XD channel show. It's called I'm in the Band, and it follows this kid named Trip, and he's in a band.
No, I watched Naked Brothers Band.
What's his Matt or something?
I don't remember.
They're ugly as hell now. But no, so my dream, right?
They were ugly before.
They were pretty ugly. No, but so my dream, right? Because you talked about Wiccan, and I thought like witches, and that's scary shit, you know, some scary type beat. But in my dream, so we watched It Chapter 2 like last week.
Yeah.
And no,
it was
last Tuesday. Fuck you.
It was.
Last Wednesday.
It was Wednesday.
Yeah. But so obviously without spoiling it, so the movie follows this weird like demon or whatever alien that shapeshifts into a child's worst nightmare.
I think people know it. It's the clown.
Yeah. He predominantly takes the form of.
Technically.
Okay. So they predominantly take the form of a clown called Pennywise to attract kids before they murder them, because kids are their favorite source of food apparently. Anyways, so I had a dream about it, you know, and it was like this.
No
It was
way.
like last night, and I dreamt that like for some reason we were like in like this like I was like a two double decker loft or something, you know, and me and my sister were upstairs and she was in a room, you know, and she was like at the foot of the bed but like kind of like sitting down, kind of laying down, and in the closet was like a big, like, you know, Baymax from
Yeah.
what is it, Big Hero 6? So it kind of looked like that, just with like a long head, you know. It was kind of freaky, and it was it, you know.
Oh
And it
my
was about,
God.
and my sister, I guess she couldn't move, and like I was at the doorway with the like door open, and I was like right between the door and the actual entrance, and I saw that, and my brother was down the stairs because like this bedroom for some reason was at the top of the staircase, and my brother was like playing with a dog. And what's,
Okay.
you know, and what's funny about that is that he's like hella allergic to dogs, you know.
So he can't play
So
with
he wouldn't.
dogs.
So there's no reason for him to be playing with a fucking dog. But like me and my sister are so mortified because like it's like literally like walking like inch by inch, like approaching her with like a huge like gaping mouth of like sharp ass teeth, you know.
Oh my God.
And it's finna eat her, you know. And we're like terrified. And I turn and I'm like, hey, you know, I'm like so scared, like I can't even speak. And like I'm trying to call out my brother as if he's gonna do anything, as if he can fight off some fucking alien.
Like those dreams where you're trying to yell but you just can't.
Mm-hmm. I'm just like, hey, you know. And my brother's downstairs playing with a fucking dog. And yeah, so then eventually it eats my sister, and I'm like terrified, and I wake up, you know, like sweaty and stuff, and I'm like, and it was like 6 a.m, and I was like, well, I guess I'm up for school, you know. So that's how I started my morning.
That's epic.
Oh, for those of you who don't know, I'm in an acting class for school. It's to fill another requirement. I know, religion and acting. How the fuck are those requirements for people? Well, they're my requirements.
They
Yeah,
are.
they're requirements at my school. Not acting specifically, but a fine arts class. You know, and I'm not creative, so I'm not doing no art shit. You know.
Hey, come on. You're very creative.
And so, what's it called? I'm in acting. And today we were practicing our like scenes. It's from Hamlet, right? And he's like, all right, everyone, go with your partners and go practice your scenes, because we were in the main auditorium. So right away, me and my partner, because we sit next to each other, we go into the like a room like all the way across the theater, and we didn't see anyone else. And like after like 20 minutes of rehearsing and like practicing and stuff, I go get a drink of water, which is the fountain is right by the entrance of the theater. And I see everyone just there chilling on their phones, talking to each other. And I was like, this motherfucker told us to go practice, and he just let all these people sit here on their phones. I was kind of pissed because I was like, I'm not the best actor in the world, but like, how the fuck is that fair, you know?
Yeah.
It's like they just all got away with not doing any work. And I was like, I guess this class is a joke, so whatever.
Yeah. Something similar happened to me today. We were taking a quiz. The professor said, "Oh, so I don't want to give you so much time that you're just able to do the reading right there and then and answer the questions. So I'm gonna step out, get my coffee, and when I get back, you should be done with your quiz."
Really?
Yeah. So he steps out
That's
immediately. People like start talking, which is whatever. But like low-key, it's kind of annoying me because I'm trying to find the answers in the reading,
Right.
and the kid right next to me, he's like, "What's the answer to question 1?" And I'm like, and I just like give him a look like, you know, and then he asks again after I don't say anything, and I'm like, and I say, I don't know, let me concentrate though.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of like stopped, but like he keeps doing that kind of stuff, and it's so annoying. Like I don't care if other people want to get answers from each other, but this dude was like bothering me. Like
Right.
he was expecting me to just give out my answers. Like, come on, dude. Like
I'm not gonna lie, like,
especially when it's somebody who like clearly like,
doesn't know their shit.
yeah, it's like I don't want to help you.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't always like that on top of this shit person where it's like,
That's the thing. I read the reading right before class, but I did it, so I felt like semi-confident, and I was just trying to do my thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like I get wanting help on some things, but to deliberately just say, "Hey, give me the answer." Like
Yeah,
that's
it's so
fucking
annoying.
irritating.
It annoyed me so much.
Like when people do like they don't even do the bare minimum, and like you
And
said
the
you
worst
were
part
doing
is
the
it
reading.
was timed. Like we only had a few minutes to do it, and I'm like, dude, you're wasting my time. Stop talking
said
to
it
me.
was-
None of this is funny to me. You know?
said you were doing a reading, or you were reading it. Was you mean you were reading the question, or was it open book?
It was open. Well, we had to do a reading. We could print it out, and he said you can have the reading out during the quiz.
Right.
So yeah, it was open book. Yeah.
Okay, so it's open book, and this kid still couldn't find the answer.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's so fucking
I mean,
pathetic.
it's
like
really
when
annoying.
when people can't.
I
do
mean, that
like,
was the point. Was you had to read it, and there's no way you could answer the questions if you didn't read it, because you'd be looking and looking and looking.
Mhm.
But it's just so annoying. Like, you're wasting my time. You know, this is already a hard enough quiz. Like, it's asking for very specific things. Like, leave me the heck alone.
The people that burden others and bring them down when they themselves can't like be self-sufficient are like the worst kind of people. Like freshman year of college, I was in a bio class, right? It was like a class of 80 people, and I forget what they're called. They call it Pogles. So for you science nerds, it's essentially like a packet that's supposed to teach you a specific topic in the class you're in. It's mainly for chemistry and biology, you know? So that's what Pogles are for, right? They stand for something, but I don't fucking know. Anyways, so the Pogle we get is about like different like communication skills between animals and how they affect and like how they differ, you know? And for those of you who don't know Pogles and aren't familiar with them, Pogles are like they're like a universal kind of thing. So if one teacher has a Pogle, you can find the answers to it online. You know, like you get them from a master site.
I think in AP Environmental Science,
Mhm.
I think we did that. Yeah, it's like one of those universal things.
You probably
where,
did, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you get them from like a master site, and you can find them like anywhere online. You know, so me, like 4 other friends, we all met up at like 10 p.m. one night, like the day before it was due, basically. And we just like started working until 12 a.m., which is when our local library at school kicks everyone out, right? But we managed to finish it, and it was like it wasn't crazy hard, but it was like 2 hours worth of work, you know. It wasn't just like one and done, and like we all knew that the answers were online, but we didn't want to do that. We didn't want to look online because it's like if you don't know what you're talking about, rephrasing something is going to be crazy difficult, and it's obvious that you don't know what you're talking about. You're just trying to rephrase it, you know?
Yeah, and when people look online and look from there, what happened with our classes was a lot of people did look online, and our teacher in high school was like pissed because he was like, "You guys shouldn't have known these answers. These are too hard. Some of these were too hard."
No. So, like, there's lazy people like that who just look it up, right, and then write down rephrase it or put in their own words, and then just write it down and turn it in, right? Let me tell you how lazy like half of the fucking class was. Half of them printed out the fucking Pogle online with the typed up answers on it. Like half of these people all had the same fucking papers and turned them in thinking, bro, I'm so fucking original. No one's going to catch me on this. Literally a week later when the teacher like grades them, she's like, so this was for extra credit? This was for extra points? None of you are going to get the points. I'm like, those of us that worked hard were like, why the fuck aren't we getting the points? And she's like, some of you wrote word for word down the answers from online. Like, did you seriously not think I knew the fucking answers were online? Like, me, the teacher, did you think I didn't know the answers were going to be on fucking line? You know, I had like multiple different like sources with the same exact answers. And like half of you guys, word for word, had them down. She said she's like, the lowest of the low of you guys, which like I know who you are, and like I'm for sure gonna think of you differently from now on. The lowest of the low of you guys were the people who literally printed the thing offline. You know, didn't even bother to copy it down and read the info. You just printed it. You know, same font, same everything, same spacing, all of it the same. You had all the answers in the exact same places as like the 10 different Pogles I found online. Like, how are you that lazy? And she's like, we're not going to do Pogles anymore. These were a way to give you guys extra credit, help you build up points. You know, it's like a cushion. Now you guys don't get it because people, like, blame your peers. Like, you guys, like, straight up were too lazy to do, like, the minimum amount of work. Like, these things, it wasn't like you either get it right or you get it wrong, you know? And you get no points for the whole Pogle. It was like you get the amount of points you get, and that's reflected in your grade, you know? So you can, like, do, like, everything right except for one thing. and you'll still get it counted to your grade. You know, for most classes, that's a normal thing. You know, it's like any homework assignment. And what's it called? But for bio, it usually wasn't like that. You get it right or you get it wrong. You know, and like considering most of these people were pre-med, they were pre-vet or whatever, they were, you know, nursing students or whatever. Like, that's pretty fucking sad. Like, these people are gonna be health professionals, you know, within the next 10 fucking years.
I hope not.
No, and like there was this. I remember this one quote from our high school band director. He said it was supposed to be inspirational, but for me it was more worrisome. So the quote, or whatever the saying goes, it's like a doctor who does like the bare minimum and gets like the lowest amount of points able to pass their exams, and graduates bottom of their class from med school. You know what people call that kind of person? And everyone's supposed to be like, what? And he's like, a doctor still. And and it's like, to him, it's like, it's a whole like inspirational bullshit where it's like, oh my God, even if you just get by, you know, just because you aren't the top of your class or whatever, it still means you can be great. Like, no, dog, it means like you got by the skin of your teeth. Like, I don't want no fucking low end doctor who like barely understood the, you know, like.
No, I think is that not what he was saying? That
No,
like there are doctors out there that they're doctors,
no,
but
no. It's supposed to be inspirational, saying like, just because you're not perfect at everything doesn't mean you won't get to where you want to get.
Okay.
But it's like 60% is usually like on a typical scale. That's what you should get in order to pass, right?
Yeah.
For bio, that 60% turns to 70%, right?
Uh-huh.
Now let's say you're getting a surgery done, right? And you can get the doctor who gets 100% success in their surgeries, right? Or you can get the doctor that gets 70% on their surgeries as far as success rate goes. Which doctor are you going with?
Yeah, right.
Like, you know how
I can afford.
like it's one thing for like a business major or something to get 70% and like pass a class. It's another thing for someone who like deals with people's lives to get 70%.
Right.
You know? And I'm not saying like if you fuck up once or twice, you're like the shittiest doctor in the world, but it's like I want someone who's like high achieving to be in control of like my body.
Yeah,
you know?
I want those actors from Grey's Anatomy cutting me open.
I want that. Like if I was gonna have people from a TV show cut me open, it'd probably be the people from Scrubs.
Yeah, you've said that before. That's what is
it's a comedy show about like a bunch of people who work in a hospital.
Comedy show. Okay.
So it's like doctors, surgeons, nurses, you know, the whole shebang. And it's apparently the most like medically correct show on TV with everything they say, you know? Like they have a lot of information and all of it's correct. And I think
all of
that's,
it?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about all of it, but like at least, like most of it. It's like the most correct TV show in the way of medicine.
Even though like Grey's Anatomy has all these scenes with like surgeries and they're using all these big words. That's interesting.
Well, I mean, that's fluff, you know?
No, yeah. It makes it more realistic. I'm curious though. I want to see a doctor's perspective of Grey's Anatomy. You know how BuzzFeed,
I mean, I'm sure you can go online,
does,
look up doctors react to Grey's Anatomy, and you'll see a bunch of doctors roasting them or whatever.
I want to see that. You know how there's like a film critic reviews these movies.
Oh yeah, or like an
or like a real life
animator reacts to like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse,
or like real life CIA agent reviews this like spy movie.
Oh yeah,
like real life spy.
Yeah, and tells how
it's good or bad.
Yeah, how good or bad
accurate
this spy movie is. Spy Kids 3. It's probably the most accurate in the way of the FBI.
Yeah.
What Judy Cortes?
I don't know.
I think that guy does crack now.
What? Who is that?
No, I don't know. There's a lot of child actors that do crack now. Judy Cortes. No, he's in like a TV show that I think is popular.
Okay. That I think may be popular. Yeah. A show?
He potentially
Does anybody here know any popular shows?
With someone named Judy Cortes. I don't know the actor's name, but I know what one of his characters was.
Oh.
Spy Kids 3, that was the one with the guy. You're the guy.
George Lopez.
No, that's Sharkboy and Lavagirl.
Oh yeah. They had the same feel.
Which like
they had that.
Correct
same
me
feel.
if I'm wrong, but
he was really hot in that movie.
George Lopez?
Yeah.
Well, he was made of electricity, so it's pretty hot, yeah.
Dr.
Robotnik. No, Electro or something?
Dr. Electro.
Electricidad. Because he's Spanish. No, but Mexican. But what's it called? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I have a conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy theory.
I have a conspiracy theory about Sharkboy and Lavagirl. It's the prequel to the Twilight Saga. So we already know that Sharkboy.
No one asked.
We already know that Sharkboy became part shark because he was fucking with sharks. You know? His dad got murdered or something by a storm, so he was surrounded by sharks and they took him in, right? So that means he's anthropomorphic.
Yeah.
Animorph. You know, he's an animorph.
Yeah, animorph. He's an animorph. Yeah.
Right. So now this dude, another fucking wave or whatever, typhoon hits where his like shark family is. He gets knocked the fuck out in the whole ruckus, right? But because he's a shark, he can still breathe in water. But he's just floating away unconscious, right? Gets stranded.
In a forest.
In a forest. These wolves find him. They take him in. Just like he adapted to the sharks, he adapts to the wolves.
Yeah.
And that's how, and they name him Jacob. And then like, because he's like a wolf, he's like obviously running and stuff, so he stays fit. That's how he got fucking ripped. You know, and then like,
was he not before?
He was 12 before. I don't know how ripped a 12-year-old can get, you fucking pervert.
We don't have an opinion on him at that point.
Anyways, right? So now here's why he doesn't fuck with vampires.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
He doesn't that wave that like knocked his ass out and drifted him to some forest, because apparently forests border oceans.
Yeah.
Right?
No, there are. Yeah.
Anyways, right? So that wave
so far-fetched
gave him amnesia. He don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Okay.
Right? He just knows that he has that his whole life he was surrounded by sharp teeth. Right? Sharks have sharp teeth, right?
Why do you keep saying teeth?
Teeth.
Sharp teeth. Why do you keep saying sharp teeth?
So he has sharp teeth, right? He just sees like flashbacks of sharp teeth. Sharp teeth, right?
What do you keep saying?
So he has, anyways, right? But he doesn't know whether it's good or bad. He just remembers that one night where his dad died, right?
Oh shoot.
Oh shoot, indeed. So he just remembers that one night his dad died. Then he remembers the sharks, but he only remembers their sharp teeth. So he associates the murder of his father with sharp teeth, and lo and behold, who pops up? The Cullen cult. Sharp tooth.
Edward. Sharp toothed
Edward fucking Cullen. What does he have? Sharp teeth. What is he? A vampire. Jacob gets confused with sharks and vampires and like attacks vampires. Lavagirl, long hair. Bella Swan, long hair. That's why he's trying to smash.
Okay, but what about Lavagirl? You put all this lore into the male character,
right.
But the female character, she just became Bella. Where's the story behind that? You're throwing her under the radar here.
No, I didn't say she became Bella. I said that he associates long hair with Shark
so
Girl.
Lavagirl is out of the picture.
Yeah.
Lavagirl's out of the picture. Okay.
Yeah, she
Bella
got murdered by global warming, you know?
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so that's why I think, or why I know Sharkboy and Lavagirl is the prequel.
Are you ever writing a persuasive paper and you say, I think, and then you erase it and then you say, I know?
No, because if I were to start a paper with I know, I'd get like laughed
start
at.
A paper. I don't mean start, I'm saying in the middle. Whatever.
But yeah, prove me wrong that Sharkboy and Lavagirl isn't the prequel to, what is it?
Twilight.
Yeah. All right. Well,
say psych right now.
Say psych right now. All right. Well, that's all we have for this episode of the Big Kids Podcast. Going to cut it a little short because it is currently 8:09 p.m. and I have to go to sleepies.
That's about it. I have work to do.
All right. We'll see you guys next week, hopefully, for sure, right? We're going to actually stick to it this time.
I hope so.
All right. This has been another episode of the Big Kid Podcast. Goodbye.
Julia.